Teams making coaches changes this offseason. Now 6 of those spots have been filled. Saturday afternoon, the Steelers announced an agreement with Pittsburgh native Mike McCarthy. McCarthy, of course, has 18 seasons of head coaching experience, 13 seasons with the Packers, 5 with the Cowboys. So Adam Schefter back in here with us. And Adam, what more can you tell us about this decision to bring Mike McCarthy in as the head man in Pittsburgh?
Laura, if we go back to when Art Rooney, the Steelers owner, held a press conference after Mike Tomlin stepped down, he talked about the fact that this team did not want to rebuild, did not want to have to reload or anything like that, particularly coming off a division title. And so they opted for somebody with experience, with Super Bowl on his resume, with somebody who's been known to develop quarterbacks. Now, he could be working with Mason Rudolph or Will Howard, the rookie quarterback. He could be working with Aaron Rodgers. They did not hire Mike McCarthy to lure back Aaron Rodgers, but the fact is the Steelers always have left the door open for Rodgers if he wants to return. I think they're hoping that the return of Mike McCarthy can help ease the return of Aaron Rodgers. We'll see how that plays out, but they felt like they were getting something of a known commodity in Mike McCarthy, not to mention the fact that he understands the area, hailing from that area, growing up in Pittsburgh, working as a toll booth collector in overnight shifts, cleaning his father's bar before going to church. Pittsburgh runs through his blood deep, and the Steelers opted to pick him as their next head coach.
Swag, what do you think about that? Toll booth collector and the cleaning his dad's bar?
No, I wanted to ask Schefter, because maybe my timeline off. Schefter, didn't this end bad with McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers?
I think it may not have ended perfect, Big Swaggo, but I think there always was a respect between the two men. And it's certainly something that I think Mike McCarthy would absolutely be open to working with Aaron Rodgers. The question is whether Rodgers wants to play.
Gotcha. That was it, Boogie.
Man, I thought you were like me trying to figure out. I didn't realize that he was a toll booth collector. You just never know how far life's going to take you. All right, McCarthy taking over a Steelers team that will have nearly $30 million in cap space, so that's good, but a big question mark on defense. Aaron Rodgers, who McCarthy we just talked about, very familiar with from their time in Green Bay. Of course, he's a free agent. He's 42 years old. Maybe it'll be Mason Rudolph or Will Howard, as Adam just mentioned. They also have the 21st pick in the upcoming NFL draft, but as we've kind of already talked about on the show, Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, those guys are not going to be there at 21. RC, what do you think about this move from your Steelers?
Well, you know what? I've talked to some people within the organization, and they're excited about Mike McCarthy. And I think they understood that people would be sort of uninspired by this hire, especially when you got Chuck Noll at 37, 35 and 35, or 34 and 34 for Bill Cowher and Mike Tomlin, and they were able to grow with their teams for over a decade and a half. Now you move to Mike McCarthy. I think it's difficult when someone like Mike Tomlin steps away from the team. People talked about it feeling like the mourning at a funeral inside that building. You go to someone with guaranteed pedigree as a head coach, someone who has won a Super Bowl and had quarterbacks play well under his tutelage. They believe in who Mike McCarthy is. They love his connection to the city. For me, I'm in a wait and see sort of mode because I believe this is an unwillingness to rebuild, an unwillingness to retool. And by not doing that, you may be pushing off the inevitable, which is finally being a losing team in order to get back where you want to be, which is a Lombardi.
RC, you hit the nail on the head. I like Mike McCarthy. I thought he did a really good job in Dallas. I know a lot of people, I was in wait and see mode when he got hired in Dallas, but that was also a 12-win team year after year with them, and obviously they had their woes in the playoffs. But it did signal to me that stability and flying under the radar was a little bit more ease of travel for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they knew people wouldn't have an outright outrageous response, but they knew people wouldn't be super inspired. And to your point, like that is a part of maybe the revolving cycle that I've talked about with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we find ourselves here again. The same questions remain. Who will be the quarterback? Will you be good enough if you get into the playoffs, because they usually have, to go further? And I think it's more questions than answers. I think a young coach would have been inspiring, but I think this just keeps everybody at bay.
Yeah.
So Mike McCarthy, good coach. The Steelers are an organization that deserve the benefit of the doubt. Are they running from their reality? That's kind of what my viewpoint on is this. Is like, are you running from what you know is the reality that, and I understand where RC's coming from, his perspective, no one better, but the unwillingness to rebuild or retool. You have to. You don't, this isn't a tear down, but you have to. And so if Mike McCarthy's going to go get a young quarterback, okay, I can get on board with that. He's proven to be a good coach. But if this is just going to be Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers back together, then I think the Steelers are dangerously flirting with becoming something that they have, in my lifetime, never been. Comfortable with mediocrity.
Yeah, and like we talked about it a little bit earlier, Dan. I don't believe they even see Mike McCarthy as a coach that will have them in mediocrity. They believe he's the right person to lead them to a Super Bowl right now. But from the outside looking in, I look at this roster. This roster isn't ready to do that. Mike McCarthy isn't going to be able to do that with Mason Rudolph or Will Howard. And in that fact, also Aaron Rodgers. And so to me, it's, will Mike McCarthy be willing to rebuild, to restart, to retool?
Sure.
Because in my opinion, that's the only way for the standard to once again be winning Super Bowls.
Man, it just does keep coming back to that quarterback spot. And Mike McCarthy's 62 years old. You don't want to sit here and say that's too old, but it does factor in when you look at the totality of years we could be talking about here that he would be with this organization. We've got much more coming your way on NFL Live. Sean, bumps it up. All right, Marcus, who ate on Sunday? Hey.
Y'all know I usually go with a hit. Y'all know I usually go with somebody getting hit hard or making a big play. But did y'all see that Kenneth Walker dead leg in the backfield?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, I know y'all saw it because we watch hours of tape. Let me get there. I need the first down. I need the first down. That's what Kenneth Walker said. This was worthy of bust that it up, because it wasn't a big hit, but it put somebody on skates, and he hit him with the Euro. First down.
Yeah, for me, it's JSN. And to have 10 catches, over 150 yards, and a touchdown against the Los Angeles Rams, understanding that he was going to be the focal point of this pass offense. It was yards after the catch. It was creating the big play with route running, but it was also clutch plays when his team needed it most. He started the year on fire, and it seems he's finishing that way as well.
All right, I feel a little bad picking another Seahawks, but, you know, y'all watch the first game. You know what it is. Nick Emanwari, holy mackerel. I mean, he was magnificent in this game. 8 targets, just 2 catches for 5 yards, 3 passes defensed. He is the key to what the Seahawks do, their ability to stay in lighter and sub packages against the Rams' heavy looks. He was amazing in this game, as he's been all year.
Marcus Jones sends the Patriots to the Super Bowl. Everyone talks about the 4th down play. This is the play of the game for me. It's 3rd and 6, all-out pressure. Just pay attention to the guy who's ringed. He's a blitzer. Okay, he retraces, puts his hand on the ground to redirect himself. He's out-leveraged by Jarrett Stidham. It's 3rd and 6. This is effort. This is culture. This is toughness. You got to throw at the end to find a way to get your body on Stidham. That leads to the 4th and 1. That leads to the potential of going for it or not. Denver goes for it. They don't get it. You never know what play is going to win the game. Kudos to Marcus Jones, wins him the game.
People were busting it up all over the place. Great stuff, you guys. All right, let's